Hey everyone, Adele here, Pilates instructor and a personal trainer from the Claremont Club, and I'm going to take you through a gentle Pilates workout today. So we're going to get started in a kneeling position. I'm going to have you start on your hands and knees with your spine in neutral, so with the natural curve of the low back, and hands right underneath the shoulders. So we're going to start here. We're just going to take a deep breath into the rib cage, a deep inhale in. And then on your exhale, you're going to draw the head down as you round the low back. Coming into flexion, you're going to stay here and then release on your inhale to a slight extension. So in yoga, it's kind of like a cat-cow. You're going to inhale here, exhale, draw the head down, around the spine. And then inhale, lengthening back out through the tailbone. Gaze comes forward. Let's do that one more time. Inhale here. Exhale, draw the head down, round the back. And then release back to neutral. I'm going to have you sit back into a shell stretch. So you're just going to round the back, draw the head down. Stay here, inhale. And exhale, slowly roll all the way back up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Now from here, this next exercise, you can do kneeling the whole time. You can even come into a standing position. I'm going to have you start here with your arms out, palms facing up. You're going to exhale as you lift up, opening out through the shoulders, and then inhale as you sit back towards the heels. So again, you're going to exhale to open. You're going to get a nice stretch through the chest. And inhale, lower back down. Now, if that's too deep of a squat for you, you can stay up the whole time. Or like I said, you can even do this standing. Let's just do 3 more here. Opening up through the chest. And sitting back. 2 more here. Good, and 1 more. And then sit all the way back down. And relax the arms. We're going to come back into the hands and knees position again. And this time, we're going to take our focus to the glutes. So we're going to start with your left leg bent with the heel reaching towards the ceiling. And then you're going to lower the knee down and exhale, squeeze the glute and lift back up. So we're going to do 10 on each side. One thing I want you to pay special attention to is to not overarch the back when you press and let the pelvis move back and forth. You want to keep the pelvis stable so we can isolate the glutes and protect the low back. Let's do 2 more here. Exhale, press 2, 1, lower back down, and then we'll switch sides. So opposite leg, heel towards the ceiling, exhaling up, inhale to lower. Keeping the shoulders over the wrist, neutral spine, pelvis stable. And then you should feel the work in the back of the leg and the glutes and hamstrings. Let's do 4 more here. Press 4, 3, 2, last 1. Lower back down. And let's just sit back into that gentle shell stretch here. Again, if it's too much on the knees, you can come up out of that or even go back to your cat-cow. Just a little stretch to loosen up through the back, and then again, slowly come all the way back up, stacking the spine back up to the top. Okay, from here, we're going to come into a semi-reclined position. So you can do these same exercises laying all the way down on your back. This takes a little pressure off the abdomen, so it's really a preference, whatever's more comfortable for you. So we're going to come down into the elbows. Chin stays slightly knotted. And then from here, we're going to start by picking the left leg up to tabletop, then the right. Place the left leg down, and then the right. So we're going to do that again, exhaling up. Inhaling to lower back down. As you keep going here, a couple things. Think about not collapsing through the chest. You want to stay open through the chest
and that allows you to still keep your neutral spine. If you're laying on your back, you're going to be in neutral, having the natural curve of the low back. So we're going to go to the opposite leg now. On your exhale, you're going to lift tabletop. Tabletop, inhale, lower, lower. Good, 3 more here. Exhaling, keeping that openness through the chest. And lower back down. Okay, next set. Again, you can take this on to your back if that's more comfortable. We're going to start by straightening the right leg out, gently pointing the foot. You're going to let the leg lift up on an inhale, and you're going to exhale, bend it in, extend to a hover. So you're going to let that leg lift, bend, and extend to a hover. So make sure as well with your neck positioning that your head's not back here, that you're keeping a slight chin nod. And then you should feel working the obliques a little bit to stabilize in the single leg movement. You'll probably feel a little bit of work on the quads and hip flexors, and then getting a little bit of a stretch through the hamstrings. So for me personally, my range is a little bit limited, but I'm just lifting the leg as high as I can. So I'm going to do 6 more here. Again, with that neutral spine, if you slump down too low, you'll be able to take the leg higher, but then we're compromising the back. So stay lifted, inhaling up, exhale to extend. 2 more here. Good, and then bend it back in and come up to a seated position. Okay, so we're going to go into a side lying leg series now. We're actually going to start with a little bit of core work, and then we'll come all the way down into the floor for the leg work. So we're going to start in a kneeling side plank, elbow underneath the shoulder, top hand to the waist, press the hips up, hold it. You're going to lower and lift. So the breath here is inhale to lower, exhale to lift. So we start to get a little bit of abdominal work here through that side waist and lower back down. So I did a set of 8. You can do 8 to 12. If you feel like you're okay adding those few extra repetitions, that's fine. And we'll switch to the other side, do our side plank, and then we'll go into our side leg series. So again, you're going to lift up, hold, neutral position, hips are stacked. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift, working this side waist here. Another thing I didn't do a very good job of on the other side was keeping my head back. So you don't want to take the gaze down. You want to stay open through the shoulders and take the gaze forward. 2 more. Exhale, lift 2, 1, and lower back down. Okay, we're going to flip back around again. We're going to go into that side lying leg series that I mentioned. And you can prop your head up with your hand. You can place a pillow, or you can just rest your head all the way down, whatever's most comfortable. I'm going to prop my head up, just checking my space here. So we're going to start with clam. Hips and shoulders are stacked, and I want you to think of lining up head, tailbone, and feet. The second thing I want you to think about is keeping a little space in the bottom waist so we can optimally work keep the core engaged. And then we're going to keep the hips stacked. So you're opening up and lower back down. So again, hips are stacked. You'll be able to take that leg higher if you roll back, but we don't want that. We want to keep the isolated movement in the glutes here. Exhaling up, inhale to lower back down. Good, just 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, last one, lower back down. You're going to extend the top leg out to give myself a little more space here. And we're going to go into leg circles. So the top leg is straight. Keep that space in the bottom waist. And we're going to do circles. So I want you to think of drawing a basketball with your heel. We're doing 8 each way. And then again with this bottom hand, put it underneath your waist. If you feel all the weight going down onto that hand, then just think of lifting up a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. And reverse opposite for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Good. Lower back down, and then let's switch sides. Okay, so again, choose your head positioning. We'll go right into clam here. Hips are stacked. Space in the bottom waist. The breath is exhale up, inhale to lower. Good, 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower back down. Okay, leg circles, you're gonna extend that top leg out. I really like this tactile cue of keeping my hand underneath, making sure I'm not squishing my hand. Flex the foot, and then we're doing leg circles. And I'm doing 8 to 10 reps, so when you're going through this yourself, you can even do 8 to 12 reps, just depending on how the exercise feels for you, if you want a little more or a little less. And reverse, so we're exhaling. Keep your breathing consistent throughout. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower back down and rest. Okay, from here, carefully press yourself up, and we're going to come back onto our hands and knees, and then use the setup that we did at the start today. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we're just going to reach opposite arm, opposite leg, and lower back down. So the breath is exhale out, inhale to lower. Again, trying to maintain a neutral positioning of the spine without letting the hips shift too much. We don't want this to happen. We want to try to keep the hips fairly square to the ground. 4 more here. Exhale, reach 4, 3, 2, last one, and release. Okay, let's come into a seated position now, and we're going to do one stretch to finish. So we're going to do mermaid stretch, traditional Pilates mat exercise here. We're going to start on our sit bones. You might also know mermaid seated like this. I'm going to keep the legs crossed today at the ankles, and then again sitting up tall. I'm going to try not to slump here into the low back. You're going to take your left hand to the ground, let your right arm lift up, and then you're going to reach and stretch to the side. If you look up, your bicep should be right above your face here. We don't want the arm too far forward. And then come all the way back. Right arm down, left arm up. Another thing to think about here is keeping your opposite hip of the way it's reaching as your anchor. So you don't want the hip to lift. Keep the hip down, and it'll help get you a better stretch through the side waist. Let's do one more on each side. Left hand down, right arm up. Exhaling over. Good. Come all the way back. Last one. And come back to center and rest. I hope you enjoyed that workout, and I will see you next time.